I'm Geek, I'm the Card Casual, and we have great news. Great news. We've been waiting for this for like a week or so, maybe a little less, I don't know. But we finally got the rest of the OP10 Royal Bloodline, I believe it's called, leaders released. We'll go over the ones like very briefly that were released before for those that you haven't seen. And then we're gonna get into what I'm so excited about is the two new leaders. We'll jump into it. I'll show you a bit of the old stuff, but I'm not going to go for any of the characters or anything. Like, we're just looking at the leaders here. I'm not going to do any deep dives or any crazy like whatever, but we'll have a look at like some of the potential things that we could be seeing from the two new leaders. Also, one of which I believe, like we were chatting in our Discord, again, I'll leave the link to the Discord. Anytime there's any sort of releases or news or whatever, we're always talking about it in the Discord, like coming up with different, not rumors, theories, let's say, of what it could be, how good it's gonna be, just like generally having a chat. It's all fun. But yeah, someone guessed one of them completely correctly. I don't know if they heard something or what, but they were pretty spot on with their guess. But yeah, we'll jump into it now and we will have a look at what we've got. If you're wondering, I'm just on the Top Decks, OnePieceTopDecks.com. It's a great website if you want to see like the latest decks that have like topped events, whatever. It has like a leaks section, which is what I'm on now. Yeah, great for that sort of stuff. We are looking at OP10 Royal Bloodline. This was released maybe like a week ago. They showed us 3 leaders. The first one, again, I'm not gonna say whether I think they're gonna be good or not. I think that will depend on what comes out, like what characters come out, what support they get. But we've got a Sugar, red, purple, 4 life, 5,000 power, pretty standard for a dual colored leader. At the end of your turn, if you have a character with Don Quixote Pirates type with a power of 6,000 power or more, set up to one of your Don as active. Cool. And then during your opponent's turn, once per turn, when you activate an event, set up to one of your Don from your Don deck as active. Honestly, like, it's not one that I'm excited about. This is nothing to do with how good I think it's going to be. Sugar is not necessarily one of my favorite characters. It's not one of my favorite color combinations. So like just off of that, I've not really like tried to look into how good I think it's going to be, because for me, it's not going to make any sense. Like, I like to play characters that I like, for one, as I'm a One Piece fan. And then I've got like the kind of colors that I like to play, and I'm not really big into red and I'm not really big into purple. So for me, I'm not too interested in that, but there it is. If you're interested, go for it, for all the Sugar stands. Then we've got like some support here. I'm not going to go into the characters. Usopp, which before we found out the 2 new leaders, this was the thing I was the most excited about. It's a Straw Hat, it's a Usopp. I know some people really don't like Usopp as a character, but I love Usopp. He gives me so much jokes. Like, he's just, as much as he's like scared, he's very like down to earth human. Like, I think we would all be quite scared in the situations that he's been put in. So I like Usopp. I got a lot of time for Usopp. And then on top of that, it's blue black. We already know that that's a crazy color combination. Saka got banned, and I think he's got a really good effect. It's not too complicated. So he's a 4 life, again 5,000 power, same. We know what we're looking at there. Dressrosa and Straw Hat Crew. We know we've got loads of Dressrosa support already, so we don't have to look too far to kind of see some things that we can do with him. And then it's got, as a passive, your 2 cost and greater Dressrosa type characters have +1 cost. So we don't have to pay anything for this skill. I think that's great. It just happens. You don't have to worry about any Don allocation, which I think is great. Obviously, that +1 is going to help stop your characters or make it harder for your characters to be removed from the board, right? Which is always a good thing, especially with the black leaders we have roaming around at the moment. I think this is great. I think all art wise, I'm hoping for something crazy. I'm hoping for something really good. And we'll get on to the all art leaders a bit later. And then as a second, it has opponent's turn, once per turn. This effect may be activated when one of your Dressrosa type characters are removed from the field by your opponent's effect or are KO'd. So that's in any instance, basically, that one of your Dressrosa type characters are removed from the field. So whether it's KO'd, bottom decked, or trashed, or whatever, if you have 5 or less cards in your hand, draw one. Great. Like, I love this because it's, again, as a casual, I'm the card casual, geek the card casual. It's just easy. It's not too much on the brain. It's very straightforward. And I think it's better than Saka. I don't think it's as powerful as Saka because it gives you the access to black and blue without giving you some crazy like busted effect. And I'm not saying drawing a card isn't busted and the +1 isn't busted because we don't know. We haven't played with it yet. But a draw 1 card, if you have 5 or less, I don't think... If it was just draw 1 card at any time, maybe it would be busted, but I think if you've got 5 or less, draw 1. I don't think that's crazy. +1 cost, I don't think that's crazy, but it gives you access to some very powerful cards, which I think is great. So I'm very excited about that one. And then we have Smoker, red-green, 4 life, 5,000 power. Again, same. Punk Hazard, navy. Your opponent's turn, your characters with navy or punk hazard trait gain +1000. Similar things to what we've seen in red before. And then main, once per turn, if you have a character with 7,000 power or more, set 2 Donnas active. We've got like, it's almost like a Zoro, OPO1 Zoro with a bit of like Dofi, like green-purple Dofi. Seems all right. Seems good. It's got 2 on their own, maybe not that amazing in the current meta effects, but I think together could have something really cool there. I think everyone kind of likes Smoker. I think Smoker as Tashigi. I think we can all get on board with that. That could have a crazy alt art as well. Yeah, I like it. And then Caesar Clown, I think I'm a little bit disappointed in this one. I think, again, when we were talking in the Discord, I think we were hoping maybe yellow and something. I was hoping purple, and that's purely, like, I don't play purple, and I probably wouldn't play him if he was purple. But I was hoping, just because he is like the most purple thing I can, like, when it comes to anime, and I think purple, I think Caesar Clown. So I was kind of hoping it would be purple just to do that, but what does red and blue make? It makes purple. So maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But then we've got a Don ×2. When attacking, you may return one of your Punk Hazard type characters with a cost of 2 or more to the owner's hand. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 4,000 power or less. I think some people, before we saw some of the like characters and support, thought this was maybe a bit too much. Like Don ×2, taking it off the board to pop a character, it's like too much cost. But since the reveal of some of the support, there's some characters that kind of make this a little bit less cost. I still don't think it's amazing. Again, we'll have to see more support, see what help this gets. But I think these 3 so far, or 4 so far, Usopp's the only real one that I'm like, okay, that really, really interests me. That kind of made me a bit hesitant or underwhelmed. Yeah, underwhelmed with what we had been shown so far. I was really, really, really like, well then I'm playing Usopp. That's like, clearly that's what's happening in this set. Until today, when we were shown the latest 2 leaders. I'm super gassed about this. We have been shown this. When it comes to One Piece, I'm a Supernova's man. I would say 85% of the supernovas I think are so cool. Lore obviously being one of my favorites. I think 99% of One Piece fans, lore is up there for him. For character design, story, his devil fruit, he's just so cool. So, that being said, what we have here is a green-yellow leader. Already, I am like, this is a good start. I love green. Like green and yellow are the two colors that I play. The only other green and yellow leader, I think we have two. I think we have Arlong, which is not that great. It's never really done that great, apart from one guy that every now and then you get someone who brings a leader to a tournament that hasn't really been played and will do really well because people don't really know how to play it. They made like a really good deck and kind of surprised people. I'm not saying that it's not good, but I think one of the reasons why he did so well was because he kind of took people by surprise. So I don't think it was ever that great. The only other one we have is Yamato, and that was really good in 06, but I think it's kind of been phased out a bit of the meta. But now we have this. So what we have is, again, a green-yellow leader, Heart Pirates, Supernovas, and Dressrosa. And the effect is Don ×1, activate main once per turn. If the total cost of your characters is 5 or more, you can return one of your characters to the hand, reveal your top life card, and if it's a Supernova type character with a cost of 5 or less, you may play it. So once again, like we've had with our last two lore leaders and one of our lore characters, we've basically got Shambles, which again, we talked about this in our Discord. Someone got this spot on because I'd kind of ruled lore out because we had already had two lore leaders, but someone else was like, no, I think it's possible. And I was like, yeah, no, maybe you're right, because they did ban one, so maybe this is like them giving us one back. And I did say his ability and Shambles can be interpreted in so many different ways with like the different colors and the way they run. And this, so we've had it from the trash. No, we haven't had it from the trash. We've had it from the hand, like moving cards from the hand to the field. And this time we have it from life, which I said would be one of the ways when someone else mentioned yellow lore. I think this one is difficult to say how good it's going to be because we don't have any yellow supernovas. Like, this is one of those skills where unless there's some characters that make this make sense, it could be trash. But before we go into that, we'll have a look at Kid. I think this one from the effect alone seems better like really interesting at this point, just because we don't know any of the characters, but also because we're getting, as we can see, a mono yellow supernova with the effect, you may turn the top card of your life cards face up, set up to one of your 3 to 8 cost characters with the supernova type. That character gains blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. So because of this, we know for a fact where we basically have to get given a whole yellow supernova package, which I think is the most interesting part of this whole set. Which is funny because this whole set is about Dressrosa and Punk Hazard, and Kid has nothing to do with either of those arcs. So I find that quite funny. But yeah, this means we're getting a whole supernova package, essentially just for Kid, and Lore will obviously be using this as well, as it's supernova type character with a cost of 5 or less. So, and with Lore, we have already a green supernova package, which again we'll have a look at in a minute, and we have now the yellow supernovas, which is amazing. So quickly on Kid, one of the reasons I think Kid has potential to be really good. I'm assuming you can only use this effect when your top life card is face down. So you are going to need cards to turn your face up cards face down again. Either that, or you're going to want to take that life into hand so that you can turn your next one face up and use the effect again. So if we look over here, the first one that came to mind was Viola. Viola is a blocker, Dressrosa. On play, choose one of the following. Look at all your opponent's life cards and return them in any order. We're not bothered about that. We are bothered about turn all of your life cards face down. So for two Don, you get a blocker, which always useful, and you get to turn that life card that you used for your effect face down again. That's kind of solved that already. Then you've got Hiyori. You may put the top or bottom card of your life pile into your hand, and then put one from your hand to the top of your life pile. Again, that solved that. Whilst also potentially putting something that you want to use a trigger from or whatever. So that's great. And it's a 2k, obviously. Like this is a 4 of in a lot of yellow decks. We've got Whitebeard from ST13. On play, add the top card of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then look at all your life cards. Place one card on the top of your deck, returning the remaining life cards in your desired order. Again, another ST13 card. On play, flip one of your life cards face down. If your opponent has 7 or more cards in their hand, send up to one card from their top of their life to the trash. Another 2k here. You may add the top or bottom card of your life to your hand. Look at your life cards, then return them in any order. We don't really know if you want to be taking too much life with this leader yet. But if that is something that you need to do or want to do, this card is great for that. And then we've got a on-play Rush Yamato, also from ST13. So four ST13 cards here. Look at all your life cards, place one of the cards on the top of your deck, then return your life cards in the desired order. So they're like, even if these aren't necessarily the cards that we will be using, they're just examples of, like, there are ways to turn that life card down or rearrange or take the life so that you can use that effect again, is the point that I'm making. And then if we're looking at the lore, which let's have a look at the effect again. So it's Don ×1, activate main once per turn. If the total cost of your characters, which would be the characters that you've played, so you need characters on the field to use this effect. Obviously it's a shambles, so we're going to need characters on the field. You can return one of your characters to the hand. Reveal your top life card, and if it is a Supernovas type character with a cost of 5 or less, you may play it. So this is how I'm kind of seeing this. I might be wrong. If you see anything wrong with what I've said, obviously leave a comment down below. We can have a chat. The more I know about this, the better. If the total cost of your characters is 5 or more, then you can return one of your characters to the hand, reveal your top life card, and if it's a Supernova type character with a cost of 5 or less, you may play it. What I'm seeing here, obviously you're going to be taking life to use this effect. What I'm hoping is there's going to be something in this deck to help you keep your life up. If there isn't, I feel like this is going to be a very, very difficult leader to use. As much as I love this, I like being safe. As again, I'm a casual player. I play, but I'm a casual player. As someone who doesn't play loads, I need a bit of security. And I feel like this needs some sort of character that also puts life back. Because if you're going to be constantly taking life to play one of these characters, you're going to need to put your life back up. So hopefully this package will do that. And obviously with this, like, I feel like you don't really want to use this unless, one, you know it's going to be a Supernova on your top life, because we don't know if you're going to run 50 Supernova type cards. Like, I feel like it's very unlikely. I think Uta, the Uta deck is one of the only ones where you have like the large majority of your cards are film type, so it's easy for you to use your skill. I think red, yellow, green, there's a lot of good green cards that aren't supernova that I think you're going to want to use. So you're going to want to use probably a card like Hiyori again to put the card that you want to play from your effect into your life. So we're probably going to be doing things like that. I'm going to assume, because of these two effects, that we're going to get some support that does that as well. I don't think they're going to make this with these effects, like knowing that you're going to go and use a card like Hiyori. I feel like they are going to make something. We don't know, but I have a feeling that that's what they're going to do, because it's too specific of a skill, if that makes sense. And the same, like, set up to one of your 3 to 8 cost characters with supernova. Yeah, we're going to get a whole package, and we're going to have to hope that we get the right support. But I think these look great, man. I think these look great. I think the lore intrigues me more than the kid. This has a floor and a ceiling very, very high, but it's going to be the supernova package that comes out that is going to determine how good it is. Kid, I can just see being good. If the package that comes out is good for lore, I think it's going to be even better for Kid. I'm still not quite sure why Kid is in it, but I'm happy he's there and that it's not green. Because at the moment, all I associate Kid with is green. Obviously, he's got the starter deck Kid, and then the other most popular Kid is probably the character, the 8-cost character, which I love. So I really do associate Kid with like a specific way of playing. So I think this is great. And Alt Arts, I think they've got a really good opportunity here to do a new style of Alt Art leader. I don't think they've ever done manga heads three sets in a row. I really want to see something cool. I think obviously with Lore and Kid, and what else have we got? With Sugar, with Usopp, they could do the crew thing again. But again, someone in the Discord mentioned yesterday, how would they do the crew thing with Smoker and Caesar Clown? Which I do kind of agree with, but they could do something like they did with Bonnie, where everyone else had crew ones, but Bonnie's was just Bonnie with her dad in the background. So they could do something like that, but I'm really hoping we get something new, something a bit different. And I'm so looking forward to seeing what this Yellow Dressrosa package is, because whenever we get a new package like that, it can also help previous leaders. And I was thinking another yellow supernova leader that we have is Luffy. Now, if like I was saying with the other leaders, if they do something that allows you to put stuff back into life, this could be something that gives Luffy a new way to play, which I think is kind of needed. If something happens with Gecko, this leader is fucked. Basically, to put it kindly, this leader is nearly unusable. But I can't think of what the card would be or what the engine would be, but if it gives Luffy a new way to play with a new package, it could be something really interesting. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I want to know your thoughts on this. I need to be given like new information and like new thought processes about this, because this has basically just come out and I'm not the sharpest tool in the box. So if you can give me some insights into what you think about this, I would be over the moon. But I'm happy. I'm happy. I want to play Usopp. I want to play Kid. I think I could want to play Lore if we get the right stuff. But yeah, man, let me know what you think. Obviously, drop me a sub, all that stuff, like the video. That would be a great help too. But most importantly, I want to know what you think about this, because I think it looks sick. Yeah, I'll catch you soon. I've got an OPO 1 box break coming later in the week, so come back for that. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one in a bit.